Well, good morning folks. Alright, it's getting half cold. Winter's coming. Sometimes folks we wish we're in warmer climes. Maybe like Australia or the Philippines where my wife comes from. Now, on the other hand, you know, you look at what's happened in the Philippines this week. There's been a couple of earthquakes and people have been killed and been an awful lot of damage. And the heat's about 45 degrees, which is a wee bit unbearable sometimes, folks. I know, because I've been there. And now, are we contented with our lot? Or do we become complacent? Are we becoming lazy? Because, folks, I can mind when I was a wee boy and used to go out on my bike. There was a reason you had to go out on your bike, because it was too cold to sit in the house. You had no heating. We didn't even have an inside toilet, it was outside. And when the winter came, you know, we had to break the ice before we could use the toilet, you know. And but wind on many years on it, and we've all got heating now, and the ones that have got plenty of money, we can have the heating on all the time and just sit there and no leave the house, get a Tesco delivery, all that sort of thing. But folks, is this making us lazy? In a word, I'm sure it is. You look at these things and as I say, time marches on. It doesn't wait for no man, as the saying goes. Well, or woman for that matter. And the reason I don't mention women a lot on this channel, because I don't think there's that many watch it, but if yous do, well, welcome to the channel. And as I say, you're more than welcome. Now folks, you probably saw something a wee bit strange there in the video a minute ago. That was a dad out with his wee boy on a bike. Now you rarely see that, folks, these days, which is really a big shame, you know. The other day I said to my wife, you know, what's this that's going on today? And it was a wee boy out with his dad, only he wasn't on a bike. He was playing a computer game while his dad was holding his ice cream cone, and every now and again the dad would have to bend down to give him a lick of the cone while he was playing the computer game, which I found unbelievable. But this sort of thing goes on, folks. You know, I've known mothers who let their sons play these computer games all day, and they'll not even get off the computer game, folks, to actually go and have their dinner, and their mother's actually feeding them while they're playing these games, putting a mouthful of food in their mouths every now and again, when they can look away from the screen for about 4 or 5 seconds. Now, it's changed days, you know, and you didn't even have to leave the house. You didn't have to even go for your food anymore. You can get it delivered to your door in a Tesco delivery, or a Morrison's delivery, or maybe even an Asda delivery. And folks, is that the way to go? I mean, are we becoming lazy? And it's no good for your health, because, you know, kids sitting at these computers or sitting on their pads all day is making them ill. I've seen so many end up in hospital with cancers and brain tumours and all sorts of things, and they're only wee tots because they've been sitting on these computers day and night, handheld devices, all that sort of thing. Now, we never had that when we were young. and I think that's the reason we're still alive today. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is. This is my wee favourite place. I like coming down here, folks, as you probably know if you've seen it before in the video. I know it's next to a motorway, but it's a nice wee area, and I like to come down. It gives me a wee bit of peace. I remember, folks, when my dad bought his first house. Well, it was actually a wee flat, and I was a wee boy. I was about 2-year-old, and he got this flat for the priceless sum of £50. And when he come to sell it, folks, he sold it for £55, and then he bought another one for £60, and I think he sold it for £70. Now that tenner profit in those days was amazing, you know, it really was. It was like 2 or 3 months' wages for my dad at that time. I think he only earned about £1, £2 a week in a foundry, and it was bloody hard work as well. And we forget all the times, but maybe it's time we rewound our computer, you know, put it back to another time like you can do. You know, if it's not working right, put it back to another setting, to an older setting. Now, it's the simple things in life, folks, that make us happy. No the complicated things like big computers and big fancy houses and flushing toilets and super warm sort of houses by big radiators and solar panels and all these sort of things. It doesn't make us happy. What makes us happy is a wee sort of winding stream in the morning and listening to that and feeling a wee bit calm, because inner peace is far better than all the carry on that we put ourselves through, folks, in life. If you can appreciate that, folks, you can maybe leave a wee like and maybe comment on it you would like to see in the future in my videos, or just to, you know, wee talks, or do you want to see something different? I'm trying to help you folks, you know, and as I say, it's aimed at mainly people in their 50s, 60s, 70s age bracket, because that's the age I'm in, and I can maybe sort of benefit from your tips as well. So if you know, make comments, tell me what you think, and I'll certainly reply to everyone. So, should we learn about things for the past? Should we look back? Is that the way to go? Sometimes it is. I mean, it'd be great to sort of see your kids going out and having to break ice on an outside toilet before they can use it. Getting their bike to just keep warm because the house was that cold. But nowadays things have changed. Now, they've not changed that much for me, because I've got to admit, it's so expensive now to put your heating on that sometimes you're reverting back to the old ways, going out on your bike to keep warm, going out for a jog to keep warm, going out for a walk to keep warm. And I'll tell you what, it keeps you fit. If you've plenty of money and you're sitting doing the things like just never moving for the house, and if you're just stuffing your face all day with sort of cakes and cups of coffee and watching the TV, it certainly isn't going to help you in the long run, and it's going to come a time when you're going to get overweight and you're going to end up in the hospital. It's easy, folks, especially as we get older. I'm hitting this at the 50s, 60s, 70s age bracket. If you didn't keep going, and you ken what I mean, because you know what it was like in the past and you know what you had to do in the past, but you've forgotten all that. Times have changed and you've forgotten how to keep fit. But the ones that haven't, they're sort of feeling an awful lot better. They're, you know, doing things. They're coming back and they feel 100 times better than what they did when they first left. And that's a fact, folks, because you're doing things that happened to you in the past. You're revisiting that past and you're keeping your life going. But to just sit about and do nothing, it's going to hamper yourself, it's going to hamper your life, it's going to make you feel an awful lot worse in the long run. My friend, he lives in a sheltered house, and they've got a big community room, and I've been in it a few times, and it's full of people who have got themselves overweight. They just never move in because it's so lovely and warm there. Even in the summer they're no out, they're just sitting there all day gabbing a load of nonsense, getting overweight, and before you know it they're in the hospital. Now you've got to use a wee bit of common sense, get back to basics folks, get back to how it was when you're younger and how you used to enjoy yourself out on a bike. Or if you're a woman, you'd maybe be out on a bike as well, but if you weren't, maybe you were playing skipping ropes, or maybe hopscotch or whatever you'd be playing. And going back to things like that, I'll have to go off the bike here. It was good for you, it was good fun. It was better than being stuck on Facebook and gossiping and phoning out with people on Facebook. Imagine phoning out with somebody on a computer that maybe lived 1,000 miles away. You know, what happened to the old days, folks? Come on. So that's what I want to get through to the day, just a wee gossip about that. And if you take anything from it, could you like and subscribe to my channel, folks, again. And all the best for the weekend, and hopefully we'll see you in the next couple of weeks if I can try and make another video. So you take care, bye bye for now, folks.